the Black and White Sessions. We are super excited. We have the lovely Shoshana Bean today. Hi.
Hi.
How are
Thanks
you?
for having me. I'm great.
Good.
Thank you. How are you?
Well, I'm so great. This truly just came about, and so we are so excited that you came in and filmed with us today.
Thank you.
We love you, and it's just been one of these things where I'm like, gosh, we need some great special guests for season 2 of the Black and White Sessions.
Congratulations, season 2.
Thank you. And I'm like, gosh, I don't know. I'm just going to get brave. I'm just going to ask Shoshana Bean. Why not? I'm a brave soul.
I'm impressed.
And I caught you in town, and look, here we are.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So see, it was meant to be.
Yes, I've definitely seen other videos from my other friends that have done your sessions and been a little bit jealous that I hadn't been asked, so you really actually made me really happy by being so brave.
So lesson
I
learned,
should have been
people.
brave and asked you, hey, if you're in need of a singer.
Well, yeah, no. But see, people out there, if you're always nervous about asking people to do things,
Ask anyway.
Put your best foot forward,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there are things we need to talk about. So first being, I just need to talk to you about your voice in the sense that I'm still kind of trying to wrap my brain around this soulful R&B world that you live in and this theater world that you live in vocally.
So am I.
It really is a conundrum because I feel like you shouldn't be living over in this world if you live in this world, but who's to say rules are rules, and let's just live outside them. So how did it come to be? Like, obviously you grew up with influences, but when did you know, or when did you start exploring and all of that? So just talk about that.
I think it wasn't something to know or explore because it was all around me growing up. So there were 3 very important musical influences in my life growing up. My mom, my dad, and my grandma. And all 3 of them listened to such different music. And there was always music playing. My mom was an aerobics instructor, so she was always dealing with like the pop and the disco of the time and making her, tapes for class. And my dad always had music playing from jazz to soul to blues and rock. And then my grandmother was very much the show tunes and blues and jazz, and some classical music as well. So for me, it just was a matter of adjusting to whoever I was with and whatever was being played. So it wasn't a question until you get older and people sort of expect you to define yourself. But even still, and I struggle with it to this day of like, when I'm trying to put a show together and it's like, well, how do I please everyone? I know they're going to want a portion of this and this and that. And I'm grateful to be able to do it all because then I definitely like artistically and creatively don't feel bored or stifled. I'm always feeling challenged and I love them all so much, so equally. But I guess it's just a function of being a shapeshifter and growing up with it around me. But, and it's way more widely accepted today. Like if a kid were to move to New York today, and have the stylings that I do, they would have a whole world available to them. When I first moved to the city, you did one or the other. There really wasn't a both, and I gratefully sort of forged my own way or was lucky enough to have opportunities that allowed me to be myself.
Yeah.
All parts of myself, but it's definitely way more widely accepted and encouraged now.
Well, and to be fair, you probably wouldn't say this about yourself, but I would say that you were kind of pioneering in that way, and that, people have watched your career and seen, oh, well, she's doing it. She's doing both. Why can't others? You've kind of, I feel like, helped open that door a bit along the way. And,
well, that's generous. Thanks.
And I, one of the things I would love to know is as a kid, who were some of your biggest influences since you lean into both?
Streisand, Frank Sinatra, Aretha Franklin, Whitney, Michael, Stevie. Those would be the main, like, people on repetition or on repeat. Sorry.
Yeah.
The artists that were like constantly playing.
That were always kind of there.
And then Mariah came in later, like in junior high school, and I was like, Mariah Whitney, oh God, what do I do?
Oh, I know. I remember wearing out the tapes and having to buy a new cassette.
The tapes.
Who cares?
No, I just threw a couple out the other day because I was like, you're keeping these like my Def Leppard tape. I'm like, you're keeping this for nostalgia, but you just download it on iTunes. So I finally tossed it.
It's fine. It's like, where do you draw the line?
Those are not coming back. Vinyl, I understand. I cannot imagine cassette tapes coming back.
Well,
I'm going to be sad if they do, by the way.
You're going to be like, why wasn't I a hoarder? Well, why not? Well, okay, so let's talk a little bit about, you guys can go on and find her resume and read everything, but I love that, you were an original cast member of Hairspray, which is really exciting. Mm-hmm. Went on to be a standby for Idina Menzel in Wicked, and then went on to take over the role on Broadway of Wicked. Those were some crazy years for you, for someone at the beginning of their career. Great memories?
Oh, yeah. It didn't feel like the beginning of because I'd been there hustling for almost 3 years by the time I got my first Broadway show. So it felt like I was ready and so happy for it. But Hairspray was the best 2 years of my life.
Well, you were young. I'll say that. You were young in your career.
Younger than I am now. Younger than I am now. But yeah. It was the beginning of what was to then, take me new places and do different things. So Hairspray was the best 2 years of my life. It created the foundation for how I know a show and a show family and a show experience can be, like what it really means to be a part of a production that from the top down is just love and gratitude and like everyone respecting and taking care of each other. And I watched Harvey and Marissa and how to be a lead and a leader and then all of the cast members, like those are some of my very best friends to this day. We're like a family still. And so that was an incredible gift. And then Wicked was a crash course in all things being a lead, in balancing your schedule and taking care of your body and how to maintain 8 shows a week in a big sing like that. And so yeah, both wonderful experiences and great gifts and wonderful memories.
Vocally, because you've had these roles that are vocally taxing on your voice. What do? Do you have voice teachers? Do you just maintain now? What do you do?
Yes, I have voice teachers. Even still, there's challenges I have and ways I want to get better and stronger and just develop more pockets in my range as opposed to like just having what I have. So voice teachers, steam is like my best friend, sleep, water. And I always whatever you do to take the best care of your body is taking the best care of your voice. So the way that you eat and the way that you exercise and all of it. And for a long time I resented that and I thought that's just all in your head. You don't need to, and maybe in the moment you don't need to, but the wear and tear that happens over the years is a real thing. And you don't recover as quickly when you get older. Mm-hmm. So now my vocal care is like a whole different level than it used to be. Yeah.
My last question I would have for you is, what's next? What are you dreaming of? What have you not done that you still want to do? You have this we were just talking about your residencies that you do. You've done them in LA, you've done them in New York, you're about to go to London. Like, what do you want to see? What do you want to see happen? What do you want to do?
I feel like I'm at a point, I want to make another record and I'm deciding how that's going to come about as far as like the style and the direction and am I going to write it? Is it going to be an interpretation of other people's songs? Mm-hmm. So I definitely feel like I've done everything I set out to do, but I would always love to do the things I'm doing on a grander scale, reach more people, go more places with my own music. I would love to go back into a show in New York at some point. But I feel like I make decisions about things that I'm passionate about and light me up from the inside out. Not that sound logical or like a good idea financially or otherwise. It's just like when things come across the table or options, I'm like, does that just get me like juiced and ready to rock? And if it does, those are the things I want to be doing, creating, or being a part of. So more albums, more shows. More of the same, but just broader, bigger, farther reaching and always trying to just be a better version of the last thing. Just always trying to find where I can improve and expand and
Well, I believe that will happen for you because I am so amazed at how you continue to watch the landscape of how music is made and how I appreciate that you stay on top of the new ways that people are finding through, be it social media or all of those things. I feel like you always have a hand and a pulse on what's coming And so, and that's important. And I think for people watching, you know, I think that's something that they can learn from you in the sense that, you know, you don't just say, well, I'm going to wait for somebody else to find me and want to make a record with me. I mean, you really set out to do things and made albums. You're like, well, I'm not going to wait for somebody else.
Yeah, I'm just impatient. That's all.
Well, but that's okay.
It has behooved me in certain ways and not in others. But yes, thank you.
I feel confident in sitting in this conversation with you that albums are coming and bigger, grander will come. And I feel like your dedication to your craft and your artistry, it's really entertaining and we all love it and I love your shows. I've been to a Shoshana show.
You.
I've been to church and and you know, we just wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
And we love you and we love your talent and we can't wait to see more and bring you back for some more black and white sessions.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
See ya.